What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash said it. AshSaidIt.com. AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys so very much. Over 1,500 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this would be possible without you guys. So I thank you for all the shares, the cares, the tears. It makes a huge difference. And I'm able to continue to do this stuff, dealing with some COVID-19, still kind of self-isolating and things of that nature. But that doesn't mean that you can't be still taking care of yourself. All right. So I have got Miss CEO herself, the beautiful Miss Melissa Snover here from Nourished. Hey, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. How are you today?
Yes, I'm good. It's been I'm in the UK right now, and it's been a good day today. And yeah, we're looking forward to having this discussion with you pretty much all day. So
Absolutely.
Great time.
I love it. All right, so Melissa, before we get into Nourished and the wonderfulness which is Nourished, tell us a little bit about your background and how you ended up in the UK.
Yeah, that's a great question, Ash. Thank you. So I'm American, as you can hear in my voice. I was actually born in New York, and I grew up on the Eastern Seaboard. I went to my undergraduate, so my bachelor's degree at University of Colorado, and then I ended up getting a scholarship to go to a Master's of Business program in Lancaster in the UK, which is in the north. It's something called the Lake District. It's very beautiful. It's kind of on the edge of Scotland. Right. And yeah, so I came over here, and during my program, I actually started a company as part of a project for my dissertation, which ended up doing well enough to stay on and run it after I graduated. And that was kind of the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. We're now this is my fourth company, and the UK has been my home pretty much on and off ever since.
So what are some of the things that you like about the UK that are different from America, obviously?
That's also a really good question. I think if I was going to be honest, I love both countries. Obviously, I am American, so I have a very strong affinity for the US, and we have some things in the U.S. that they don't have here, which I miss dearly, like dill pickles, Taco Bell, 24-hour shopping. We don't have any of that here. So I definitely feel homesick even more now than ever before because I can't travel back and forth. But some of the things that are good about the U.K. are, if you think about, America as a civilization or a culture, our constitution is, under 250 years old. The UK over here, there's been people in this civilization for over 1,000 years. Yeah. So I always equivalent it to, imagine a teenager, super smart, really full of energy, tons of enthusiasm, but is not 100% sure who they are yet. Mm-hmm. That's how I would think of the American culture, because we are making the best and most innovative stuff in the world, but often we, I think, kind of lose our step because we're young and we're still learning. Yeah. And over here in England, they're 40. They know who they are. They're quite comfortable with it. Wow. So they're not setting the world on fire in the same way, but they're also more comfortable with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. All right. So what is the story behind Nourished?
So Nourished is the world's first personalized gummy vitamin. And basically I came up with the idea because I used to carry around a pretty disgusting Ziploc bag full of vitamins whenever I would travel. I've been an avid believer in supplements and kind of food is medicine and looking after yourself on a daily basis since I was in my teens, and I literally sleep maybe 4 hours a night. I used to travel over 200 days a year, and I really feel like my supplement regime is helpful in making that enjoyable and not killing me at the same time. So this disgusting bag of vitamins used to be in my carry-on bag, and one day I was in the airport in Germany, a place called Düsseldorf, and I'm in the queue, and it's bad to be slow in the German queue no matter what. But my bag of vitamins poured all over the floor, and I'm on my hands and knees in the queue picking up vitamins off the floor, thinking there's got to be a better way to do this. And, at the time I was working in 3D printing for confectionery, for candy.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if we can turn this technology into something that would be a really meaningful value add for people and make this whole, I want to be healthy, but it's not convenient. It's not enjoyable. It's quite expensive. It's hard work. We could make that a little bit easier.
Yeah. Wow. So as you got this idea, you're picking up the vitamins off of the airport floor, which is gross. As we all know, airports are like the worst. They're the worst place for germs. I'm like cringing. But as you're doing that and you bring the idea to some of your colleagues, I'm sure, or partners or things of that nature, what was the first big challenge that you guys faced?
Well, the big challenge that we had was that basically we had a vision that we wanted to be able to create a product that had, a meaningful number of variants in it. So if you think about, how many different individual vitamins people are taking, if I just made one that had 2 products inside, that wouldn't be that big of a deal. I don't think that would have added value. So we decided we wanted to include 7 different things inside the product. And so we had to create an entirely new printer. We had to do over 100,000 lab hours validating the formulas. And we had to build an entirely new factory specific to our machines that had never been done before. So whenever you do anything new, even if it's just a new business idea in an existing market, it's very scary.
Yeah.
And it is fraught with difficulty. But to do something that no one has ever done before on multiple levels is like a whole nother, level.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So when you say customization, what do you guys characterize as customization with these vitamins?
So basically, right now, if you go to our website, which is getnourished.com, you go through a consultation questionnaire, which is around your existing health, your lifestyle. So things like, are you a vegan? Do you work out regularly? How much screen time do you have? How is your sleeping? Do you get sick often? So on and so forth. And then it also asks you about your goals. So like, what is the reason? What is your main goal for taking supplements? What is your main health goal? Why are you looking at this at all? And then with all of that information, it's plugged into a weighting matrix algorithm, which I developed. And that then creates a recommendation of 7 different nutrients from a selection of 30 possible options of vitamins, minerals, superfoods, and active ingredients like probiotics, which are suited to you. And then our printer makes the product specifically to you. So we don't hold any stock of pre-made products. We literally make it just for you. Oh, wow. And when you get your product, you see it has your name on every single wrapper, which are plastic-free, home compostable packaging, not plastic. And it has your name on the letter, and it explains to you about each of the nutrients and why we recommended it based on what you told us.
Wow, I've never heard of that ever in life. I don't think I've ever heard of a brand being able to customize vitamins down to the T like that. That's amazing. I'm so stoked. I'm super excited to try the product.
Yeah, and it's funner to take it as a gummy as well. I mean, I think a lot of people hate taking pills. I know that I used to do it because I was quite psychotic in my commitment to my health, but it was very unpleasurable. I used to, once in a while, you cough them back up again. It was a horrible thing. Yeah. It's really awful.
I mean, it's absolutely insane, and it's funny that you say that because, like, as you're talking about the story of you with this, this crazy Ziploc bag, like, that's what I do. That's totally me. I have, like, a baggie full of all of it, and I pretty much, I set them out for, like, the month at a time. So I have like individual bags that I take, and now that I've been a flight attendant for the last year and a half, so I've literally been in and out of all kinds of airports, and I've lost baggies, places, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where did I leave it? Where did I put it? Oh my gosh, this is so inconvenient. So I can absolutely identify with you on that one.
I mean, one of the things that happened to me as well, one of the other kind of like pitfalls of that kind of a tactic, is I once had a bag that had chromium pills, which are little tiny round white, that's what they look like, but mixed in with melatonin, and I accidentally took a full melatonin right before my meeting, thinking it was a chromium. That was a massively hard day, dude. It was really hard.
That was a super bad day. So, oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was rough. So, I mean, those are just some of the examples of why. But the other thing that's cool about the product is because we make it fresh for you. You get it by like the 5th day after we make it. And if you compare that to like if you went to like Amazon or a supermarket or a drugstore and got your vitamins, usually they were made at least a year ago, sometimes longer, before you put it in your mouth. And it loses efficacy from the day that they make it. So a year from production to when you take it, it obviously loses quite a lot of the efficacy in the product. But because ours is super fresh, we can guarantee 99.5% efficacy, which is also like really unique in the marketplace as a whole.
Yeah. Nobody else is doing that, girl. You guys are onto something. I'm loving it. You are absolutely onto something.
I'm so glad you like it. You totally get it, which is lovely.
Yes. No, I'm right there with you. Anything to make life easier and to take it in a gummy form, I'm all for. So I'm with you on that. I'm ready to just ditch the rest of these Ziploc bags and really just wait for my package to come. So I'm in on it.
Absolutely.
But with everything that's been going on, with COVID and just the world just being flipped upside down, inside out, how were you guys able to adapt to this new environment?
So one of the cool things about using 3D printers to make the products is that we're not committed to a certain product set, or we didn't, if you imagine you go into a store and you see products on the shelf, they were made a while ago. The company that makes them committed to a certain product variation, a certain recipe, a certain packaging. And if they want to change something, it can take them as much as 3 years. If they're good, about 18 months. But with 3D printing, we make every product on demand. We make a unique item every 5 minutes. We've never made the same product twice, other than for the same customer, obviously. Right. And so when we saw what was happening and when COVID started, we started to look at more ingredients that we could add to the product set that would be immunity boosting or supportive of the natural immune system. And we added 3 new ingredients in about 2.5 weeks based on customer feedback. And that's how quickly we can respond to the product and the market. And also, I'm sorry, but a worldwide pandemic, which has nothing to do with an individual consumer. This is something we're all suffering from. And on the back of research from Boston that came out about 3 weeks ago, that showed that tripling your vitamin D intake, so going up to 1,000 IUs, would actually have preventative effects on COVID and the severity of a COVID course. We actually just tripled the dosage in all of our products in about 4 days, and all of the products now have triple the vitamin D normal recommendation because of that research. And that's how quickly we can react, which is so fun.
That is awesome. Now, you guys have actually been dimed a couple of times as the Willy Wonka of the vitamin industry. How do you feel about such a title, Melissa?
I mean, I think it's, in a way, it's really, I love Willy Wonka, by the way. I think that's a fantastic film. Yes. I love the whole idea of this man that can create this dreamlike world that makes children believe in their dreams, which I love. But I think what that means is when you taste the products, there's a lot of ingredients in our product which naturally do not taste good. They taste very much the reverse of good. Resveratrol smells like dirty feet. Ashwagandha tastes like eating soil mixed with cow manure. I mean, they're really awful, but we have very strong abilities to use things like natural colors and natural flavors and aromas that come from fruits and vegetables. And we've done a really good job in making the product extremely tasty. So I think about it like that, like that's a compliment. Yeah. But in addition, all of our gummies are made with a patented vegan gel, which comes from pectin. So there's no gelatin in what we make. And everything is sugar-free as well. So it is a permissible snack. It is not bad for you, and it is not full of sugar. Whereas in America, I think at the moment, the average gummy vitamin has, vitamin. You can tell I go back and forth between UK and US. The average gummy vitamin has 3 grams of sugar in each one, which is, about half what you get in a can of soda. So you think, oh my gosh, that's not a good idea, no matter how many nutrients are inside.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Last but certainly not least, Melissa, what advice could you offer to any woman out there today that has an unconventional idea that she has not acted out on yet?
Well, I think, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is my 4th company, and I've done 3 businesses that were doing things that nobody's ever done before. And the reason that I was able to make them a success comes from the very beginning and what I did, which was copious, and I mean ridiculous amounts of research.
Yeah.
Do so much research that you think it's ridiculous, and then do a little bit more, because you need to check everything from what are the regulations around my product? What is the route to market? Is there anyone in the marketplace that I would see as a competitor? Why is what I'm doing better? And if you have something that you believe stands out in those marketplaces, then you should email me directly. And we have our own investment firm, and I also know a huge number of different people that are always looking for people who are coming up with the next big ideas, not just from a monetary standpoint, but that are going to change the world in a global health, global environment, global social enterprise style. And I think, you'll find that there are a lot of people like me that are very keen to hear from you.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you.
It was a pleasure.
And little birdie said that you got a little something extra for my listeners. Just a little something extra for them.
Absolutely, yes, of course. So we've got a very special discount code only available to your listeners, and that will be available in the description of the show today. So really hope they all try it out, and looking forward to hearing what you think after you've had it for a little while.
Yes, I'm so super excited about it. Melissa, let everyone know the best way to get more information and, of course, to try the product.
It's get-nourished.com.
Nourished. And are you guys also on social media?
Of course. If you just type in Nourished 3D, so that's really how the name of the company is. So the backwards E, which is a 3, so Nourished 3D, into any of the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so forth, you'll find us. We'll pop to the top of the list.
I love it. Much more success to you, Melissa. You and the team, of course, you are more than welcome back on the show when there's new announcements, because I know there's going to be some new stuff coming soon. I know it. I can already feel it.
I would love to. Yes. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm a massive fan, and it means a lot to me that you took the time. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank each and every one of you guys for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face. You tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.